to resume recording. And we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to our statewide lab partnership call today. We are recording, but that is only to be able to put it up on our website to kind of serve as minutes. So please do sign into our chat box to let us know that you are here today. Also, if you have any questions and don't have speaker, you're welcome to put your questions into the chat box. Don't hesitate, however, to hop on, unmute. You're welcome to do so at any time. So let's go ahead and get started. I appreciate everyone being on today. So I would like to let you, or just as a reminder, that of course CDC, if any specimens need to be sent to the CDC, please do let us know. Don't send it to the CDC directly because there's a lot of extra paperwork to fill out. We will be happy to fill that out. So give us a call that this is in the works and let us know. You will have to get approval for sending something to the CDC. Speaking of approval, however, great news is that the NPHL alert did go out last Friday. It was kind of in the works for a couple days beforehand, but you'll see there, if you haven't already, that approvals are no longer needed for the monkeypox. That if you have specimen or a potential specimen, potential patient that needs specimen taken, I think I would, go ahead and do that the appropriate way. Collect those specimens in an isolated room. You can go to our website, which will, of course, under the home page, will instruct you on how to collect that specimen. Of course, it isn't probably you collecting specimens. It's going to be your nursing staff or physicians themselves. So please share that information with them as well. So with that, I was going to mention too, that in there we have really stressed that we want all laboratories to, and clinics for that matter, to be able to keep supplies in case there's a monkeypox. You don't have to have a ton, but make sure you have maybe one or two of these, of a kit, putting them together. So make sure you have the right kind of swab, that you have the right kind of containers. Of course, the nicest ones are probably your conical tubes. However, if you don't have conical tubes, we've had people use urine cups, kind of big, but what happens is you need to use 4 different containers, because we would like each swab in a separate container, some sort of conical tube, if you can. So those supplies will have to be ordered on your own, but please do keep small supply with you. And then along with that, I have included information here on how to order category B boxes. As you all know, the CDC a long time ago, 2 years ago, had really hopped on us for COVID. And although they have not said anything about monkeypox, it's going to be the same thing, that monkeypox being category B, all boxes or all specimens have to be labeled category B. You can no longer just hand it to your courier. There are some special circumstances, but we'll have to arrange those for you if you're in the Omaha-Lincoln area. But other than that, you do need a category B box. And those boxes can be ordered here on our website under supply orders, where my big yellow arrow is, and with that, you have to have a number. If you don't remember your number, it does say here, hint, your account number is on your specimen requisition forms, but we don't use specimen requisition forms anymore. So do write that account number now. If you do not at all have an account number, you can contact me, or what I'll be doing is giving out the name of the person who handles our contact. So I would say just go ahead and contact me at my email, which of course, I'll put it in the chat, is just the kstyles@unmc.edu. So there are situations where we have a number of sites that are really far reaching. Unfortunately, our couriers may not necessarily go there on a routine basis. It's very expensive to send a courier out on a stat basis. It's like $1.60 a mile. So what we recommend, if you can handle it and have FedEx pick up at your location, we can provide FedEx materials. We can provide even the air bill filled out for you, which would mean that it would be put to our cost center. So don't hesitate to ask for that request. A number of our laboratories are already set up that way anyway, and they find it very easy to do. The one advantage when coming to monkeypox is our runs are not in the morning, it's in the afternoon. We usually start by 1, and FedEx does, if you ship, not first morning, very expensive, but if you ship by priority mail, it will arrive here at MPHL by about 10:30, which should give us plenty of time to get that on the run for the day. So now, COVID, it still holds true that these laboratories at a distance will need to also FedEx. They would order these particular products, and again, we could provide the air bill for you. I don't know if Pete or Emily are on the line, but can you share with us when our COVID runs are? Are they only in the morning, or do we still do the 2?
Hi, Karen. We only are running in the morning right now because volume does not necessitate an afternoon run.
Well, that's understandable. And so therefore, FedEx might miss our first morning run because it doesn't come in until 10:30. So let us know if it is a real issue. Please give us a call. We'll see what we can do to make special arrangements for you for a ground courier. So any questions about our shipping when it comes to monkeypox and COVID? And to be honest with you, with any type of category B specimen. I thought I forgot to share too, the picture here at the very bottom shows the type of shipping material we do send to our laboratories that have microbiology. This is supposed to be ambient, so don't just throw in a gel pack and think this is going to stay cold. Yeah, the weather's a little bit better outside, but boy, last week it really wouldn't have made it at refrigerator temperature here. So, I mean, there are ways around it. You can use something called this Cool Shield bubble wrap that we have been starting to provide. And I'll get that on the order forms on the NPHL. And you could put it inside here. That way you are able to use these boxes, or just go ahead and you'll get that Cool Shield insulated shipment through these 2 methodologies. So you're welcome to use either one. Any questions? All right. Awesome. going on, I thought then I would ask Emily too, if you could comment on if I have the number of cases right. I tried to get on this morning to look. You might have some new updated numbers for monkeypox.
For monkeypox, as a state, we are, I believe, going to announce potentially a 16th today. The state will announce that. Right now, we have 15 confirmed. We have identified more than that at Nebraska Public Health Lab, but we are performing testing for our neighboring states as well. So, yeah.
Okay. Anything else interesting we need to know about monkeypox, other than maybe what was in the MPHL alert? By the way, it will be on the website. I requested it Friday, but probably won't be on until this afternoon or tomorrow.
For those of you who aren't aware, the NPHL alert that she is referring to was referencing that the state is no longer requiring local health department or state approval prior to submission of a test request by NPHL for monkeypox. It is also no longer required to page NPHL's 24/7 pager to submit these specimens. Ideal scenario would be that you submit via our online order portal, new alerts. That is best case scenario. That is the easiest way to submit, as well as the easiest way to access your results. If for some reason any of you on the call do not have a new alert account, I strongly encourage you to set one up preemptively, because there is a high likelihood of testing requests across the state. So it's best to be prepared for that situation. The alert also links to a document that will show you how to place these orders in New Alert. And we are working on some nice little components of New Alert that'll ease in the viewing of results for this. We will still accept a paper rec test request for monkeypox ordering at this time, though it is highly discouraged. And if you are going to submit via paper rec, please let us know, because one of these things is if you do not have a New Alert account, it is very difficult for us to have a contact information to call these results out to. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Emily. Okay, I think going on, let's kind of cover the other outbreaks in the state. Of course, we are still dealing with COVID. Unfortunately, here until at least a week ago, I believe we did have some increases in our numbers. Is that true, Emily?
We've seen a slight uptick. Not surprised, a lot of people are congregating a lot more recently. We'll probably continue to see it also with schools opening up again. People have also started traveling more. So while it's not a significant uptick, it is a noticeable uptick.
Yes, all right. Do any of our laboratorians or any of our partners, client services, have any questions about COVID? Flu's pretty much off season now. I know that Robin was not able to be on today. I do remember that she still reminded people in our last meeting to, if you do get a request for it, and you find any positives, because it is off season, please let us know. Please send it in. Not only if it's category A, or not category A, but group A or B. I think we need, right, Emily? For a flu.
I'm sorry.
That's all
I
right.
apologize. Yes, if there is any clues seen, please go ahead and submit them in.
All right. I knew for sure B, but I would assume A since we're off season.
Yep, we are off season, so anything you see, please submit them in. It's actually a time to watch out for it across the state of Nebraska, with fairs occurring on a lot of interaction with the animals associated with that. There have been a couple cases of swine flu identified across the nation thus far this year, so something to be aware of and to be testing for. And if you see it, please forward it on to us and let us know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. I keep bombarding you. So we'll bombard someone else. I wanted to know if there are any updates on arbovirus. If I see Jeff online.
Hi, Karen. Yes. Just I guess a quick reminder, it is the primary West Nile virus season now. August and September are when the majority of our cases get reported to us. And we've seen a couple cases so far. We've had some positive pools coming in now, and based on kind of some data from our mosquito surveillance last week, we saw an increase in our mosquito vectors, the primary West Nile vectors. So, mosquito numbers have been pretty low this year, but these mosquito species don't necessarily need, a flooding rain event to breed. They like to breed in kind of stagnant standing water. So, we're starting to see an increase there. So I foresee seeing some more positive pools in. So just, I guess everyone be aware that it is the primary West Nile virus season. And, if you talk with your providers and stuff, maybe just kind of remind them that, you have patients coming in that, just kind of maybe have a general febrile illness and they're thinking viral, to go ahead and, maybe think about testing for West Nile virus. But that's kind of what we have going on currently, Karen, for arboviruses.
Okay, good to know, but that can only increase, right, as the season goes on here.
Yep. August and September are our two primary months.
Okay, all right. If anybody has questions, are they allowed to contact you directly?
Yep, they
Okay.
can feel free to reach out.
All right, thank you. If you could put your email address in the chat, and that way they know where to contact you at. So, okay, thank you. ARLN, which is the antibiotic resistance laboratory network. I had hoped to get some information out about Candida auris, like we talked about on newsletter. I have not done that yet, but we will hopefully see that this week now. Pete, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask if you have anything interesting that you would like to share on our program.
Well, I think Ishrat is on. Maybe she has some stuff to share about the HAI program, for instance. Ishrat, do you have anything you'd like to share?
No, at this moment, we don't have anything to share on HAI. We are probably going to review the CRE algorithm with you
Right.
in PHL just to see, if we can capture a little bit more specimens that we might have been being missed. So that's actually what update I have. So I think we're going to be meeting soon, Dr. Ivan, with you
Sure.
and Emily.
Awesome.
Yeah, we just aren't seeing very many C cases at all from my recollection. I think we had one here recently, but that's about it. Solomon, anything you want to add about the HAI program?
Oh, I just joined in. So
Yeah, I see you
Putting
coming
you on
on.
the spot.
Yes.
for the HIAR program right now, I think we are definitely working on developing some protocols basically to help, and it's not probably lab related that much, but I just wanted to kind of get it out there that some of our team members who will be dedicated towards helping clinics also that are obtaining testing for the monkeypox or doing vaccination for the monkeypox in terms of infection prevention and control guidance, or actually seeing patients, what infection prevention and control guidance, there will be a hotline number that they can call and get information about, contact, like transmission based precaution, what precautions are needed, what they can expect in terms of PPE when they are testing, when they are doing vaccinations, especially with the intradermal vaccination that will be coming out. There may be questions about how to properly handle the vial once it's open. Those type of things will have some of our team members kind of dedicated towards answering answering phone calls or questions that may come along in that from healthcare facilities. So that's something that we may even put in the HAN also, and maybe even put on our website on the DHHS side. That's one of the things that we are about to offer. And other than that, cannot on the top of my head right now think of something else. Ishra, do you have?
Yeah, I have a couple of additional things.
Go ahead.
So Dr. Ivan and Emily, when we're meeting, we're probably going to also look at the Pseudomonas algorithm as well with CRE. But one question that we have is that, we wanted to capture the CARBAR results into nets, and it is coming into nets, but for some reason our data mart that we created is not able to capture that information. So we are going to be working with the Enterix team because they know how to capture that information. So we'll be working with the informatics on that on our state side. But the question that I have for you at NPHL is that if you can send me an example of a CARBAR that you sent to Enterix, that would be great, because then I can ask the informatics to create ours the same way, using the same platform or code.
We can
Ishrat,
do
I
that.
can take care of that for you offline.
Okay, all right, that would be great. Wonderful, Emily. Thank you.
Salman, do we know if any other labs in Nebraska have LDTs for monkeypox? My assumption is no, but do you know, have you heard?
Any other labs in Nebraska are running tests on the monkeypox? I think I have seen some, not in Nebraska, but I've seen some reference, at least one
Right,
reference
right.
lab. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple reference labs out there.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't know of anybody in Nebraska that's trying to set this up.
And there might be people trying to set the, I know that some of the academic hospitals might be trying to set up something, but I don't know whether anything is set up already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, unless I hear from any other labs, I guess we're still kind of the only game in town here at the public health lab.
Yes, except that there are
There's
some.
a couple reference, but
Yeah.
they have they have a long turnaround time. I think it's 3 to 4 days.
I have seen something like 72 hours. Yeah. I've seen tests coming from AirUp and Quest, maybe. So
I think Mayo is approved to test too.
Yeah. Personally, I've not seen a test coming back from Mayo yet, but I think I've seen some coming back. Nobody has, none has resulted positive, but the negative tests that I've seen or been told about came from AirUp and Quest so far.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
Thank you, Salman.
No
And
problem.
Ishrat too.
Thank you.
All right. I did miss the GI outbreaks, but I'm going to continue on with TB because I see Kristen on.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So thank you for the forms, Karen, that we received. I sent those out to all the local health departments for the new sputum collection forms. And then I have been working with Dr. Iwan on the TB grant. We also did get supplemental funding for Ukrainians. It is small, but we will have funding for testing for the lab. And sort of why this is we had Ukrainians coming over very quickly and they were not screened overseas due to the very ugly situation in Russia and Ukraine. So we are working on that actively at the moment. And I think those are the updates that I have right now.
All right. Yes, we did put out a new supplemental form. So not only do we need when you submit organisms, well, let's put it this way. Do we need that form for both sputum specimens or any type of specimen, plus organisms that a laboratory might identify as potential TB? I think it's needed for both.
Yeah, I'm guessing it can be for others than sputum samples. So typically out in the field, we're doing sputum, but if like somebody doesn't, we definitely can if it's extrapulmonary sample. So as long as you guys can do it. I know you guys don't do everything for
Right.
like, I know stool is not acceptable. We've asked that. So, but there's other, of course, sputum will be the big one. So,
Right. So the point is we need both the NPHL requisition or put into new alert, and then this supplemental will have to be added to the specimen and sent to NPHL. So, all right, thank you, Kristen. Let's go back. I don't know if Brianna's back from the from her leave, but does anybody have, or excuse me, IGI information?
Yeah, this is Liz Wyckoff. So Brianna will be back next week from her maternity leave. We'll
Awesome.
be taking back over. But as far as our outbreaks, we've just had a few Salmonella and Aztec multi-state outbreaks, as well as Listeria that's been ongoing. But as far as local outbreaks, we don't have anything currently ongoing. So not
Okay.
too much in terms of updates.
All right. Well, picnics are still prevalent this time of year, so yeah, we could still probably see more. So keep alert, laboratories. Does anybody have any other outbreak situations that they want to mention or have questions about? All right. And thank you, Liz, for that update. Okay. Any other laboratory topics that we need to add? Okay, as a reminder, just to let you know that we do have a chemical radiological terrorism section. NPHL is hosting a well, I said drill. It's going to be full-scale exercise here in September. And if you happen to be in Omaha on September 30th and want to join us, we certainly can use volunteers. This volunteer would be playing the role of a patient. I'm always looking forward to seeing our volunteers and being a part of how exercises work. So I'm going to turn it over to client services. Brian, I think I saw you on. Is Paul on too?
I'm here, Karen. I have nothing to report other than there's going to be an upcoming program looking at placing label printers in some of our epidemiological accounts. And that's all yet to be ironed out, but some sites may be contacted if they have an existing printer. They may be being replaced by a more robust printer, but more to come on that.
Certainly. Labels are a miracle. I mean, just because it saves in so much in as far as errors are concerned, time which it takes to handwrite this out. It's almost a must anymore in this age. So I don't know if Jess is on. I know that Anna.
I am on.
Oh, Jess. I didn't mean to leave you out, so I wanted to
No,
ask
you're good.
if you have anything.
I do not have anything.
Okay, no problems. I'm sure everything's perfect in your world.
Fingers crossed, no problems today.
Okay. Knock on plastic here.
Yes.
Okay. I thought I would go on and anything else on client services? If not, I'm going to go on. Okay. Paul? Guess not. So biosafety tip of the month, I think there's a couple of things I'd like to let you know about. in the MPHL alert, we did really hone in on the biosafety part of working in the laboratory. There are some very specific things in there you might want to look at. And that is they really speak on PPE and how you need to advance that PPE. I think since we've been dealing with COVID for what, 2 years now or 2.5, it is so easy to become lax. But on the other hand, it's very important that we don't spread that as a laboratory acquired infection. The other thing that they talk about is monkeypox, that you need to be or should be vaccinated in the laboratory. So if you're not vaccinated, you really truly need to keep up with this advanced PPE more so than ever. And so it will go through the details of if you are vaccinated versus whether you're not vaccinated. Please look at that. It will be on our website here in another day if you have not seen that alert. Or just email me, I'll forward it on to you. Be happy to do that. I wonder if Julie Dollinger is on today. I know she had the day off. I was wondering if she would. She is from Scotts Bluff. We had some really interesting things happen to us about 2 weeks ago when they had a potential BT organism. I wanted to kind of share those experiences we've had with FedEx shipping. Do I hear Julie at all? Possibly not. All right. So what happened was, I know category A is a really difficult thing to share or to do. It is a lot of paperwork. There is a shipping declaration you have to know how to do. And I want all potential laboratories who might have category A to please make sure you, first of all, you understand the LRN protocol, which is the rule out and refer protocol, and then also to how to do shipping of category A. Don't wait until the day you get it because it's going to take a half a day to learn the process. So we haven't done a shipping exercise in a long time. I am considering trying to do that this fall simply because of the issues that we had. So when Julie had to send one, she had it rejected, I believe, 3 or 4 times. It took us all week to get the specimen here. And it was a mistake on both sides, but I think what really got hung up is doing the shipping declaration correctly. If there's one little thing out of place, FedEx is definitely going to reject it. But something we have never experienced before is that the FedEx dangerous goods inspector did a few things wrong. And so that really baffled us. We had no idea if he would not approve what we thought was correct and he thought was wrong. If he would not approve them, we would never get that specimen to us. But he was trying to say we needed a cargo label. Cargo labels are something you only need if you have more than 50 mils or 50 kilograms of specimen. Normally, a laboratory never has to send us that much. And yet we couldn't convince him. So we had to talk to FedEx hotline, which is a national number, to get it straightened out. And the national number, some of those people were able to work this out for us, and we got the specimen here. But Julie, by the time she was done with that, she knew by heart how to send a category A. And I do recommend that you, in order to avoid these problems, please practice this process or make sure you've walked through it once or twice. on your time, free time, haha. But do take time to be aware of that system. So category A is not easy. And again, I think I am going to force the issue by simply making it a drill for this fall's challenge set and LPX exercise. Just this was a note from last month, a new alert review to make sure and check your fax numbers that are associated with your account, so that we make sure it's going to the right place. If you question it, we could test that process and to see if the faxes are coming through correctly. Don't wait until the real thing and then wonder why you're not getting results via fax. Anything else with New Alert and the computer portion of New Alert or our IT system, our LIS system? Does anybody have questions in the lab?
Karen, this is Gerald.
Yes.
So you throw it out there about having staff vaccinated. I mean, now there's a limited number of vaccines. So I mean, I guess how sincere, I mean, not to question you, but I mean, right now, I mean, I don't know the laboratorians besides maybe Douglas County is not a priority to the state. I mean, they don't have many of the vaccines for smallpox or any of them. I mean, they probably have, for the whole state, there might be 100 vaccines. And they're mainly going to the HIV clinics.
Hi, Gerald, this is Emily. I completely understand with what you're saying. I think Karen's intent was more to further emphasize that advanced precautions need to be used because the population that has access to this monkeypox vaccine is very small. With non-vaccinated individuals, you need to do BSL-2 with BSL-3 precautions.
Right.
Obviously, is our intent to keep the individuals performing the laboratory work across the state of Nebraska as safe as possible. So I believe her intent was actually just to further indicate that advanced precautions are required and to look into those so that you are performing your work the safest way possible.
Sure.
Yes,
So that-
I did not mean that, Gerald, to say that you had to have it, that your laboratorians had to have it.
Okay,
No.
well, I apologize. I just want, and I'm not trying to question you. I mean, if
Yeah.
we get it, great. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know, we take things literally. So give us a checklist and we'll get it done. But in the same right, I am concerned, even where you're saying, well, let's do a category 3. I'm not super concerned at this point with 15, but if that number starts to trigger up, you know, it's identify and isolate. When our world in small labs in rural Nebraska, it's going to be in our chem lab, and we're going to be running CVCs and CMPs, and then we're going to get the probably an hour later, they're going to say, oh yeah, we're concerned about monkeypox, and we've already run those specimens through the lab. And it's like, well, that's not going to happen. That is certainly going to happen.
Yeah.
So, and how
Absolutely. That is happening in hospitals and laboratories across the state right now. It's important that you meet with your team and your infection prevention. You guys perform a risk assessment. On a good note, you guys are all well-trained laboratorians. You know how to treat everything as infectious. But it is important to prepare for those potentials, especially if you have open tube systems.
And along with that, I'm glad Emily brought up the topic of risk assessment, because something I learned about a year ago is risk assessments that are made in the laboratory should be discussed with your hospital biosafety officers. I understand that both now need to be signed off. Both of those positions should sign off, just to keep the hospital aware of what the laboratory is doing. So definitely, if you do risk assessments, which you should, as far as, especially in situations you just mentioned, Gerald, that what should you do, and how to handle when when you've tested specimens and then only find out after, what can be done. So,
Karen, such is the life of a laboratorian.
yes.
You know, my adage is that any specimen that goes into the laboratory could have something bad. So
Yes.
You know, we follow blood body fluid precautions as best we can, and that's just the nature of the game. But yeah, I understand the concerns that people have working in the laboratories when they don't know what's going on, but you know what? That's the life we've dealt with, and there we are.
Well, and Pete, this is Joe again, and if that's all we have to do is just body fluid precautions, that's not worrisome to me.
Yeah,
But when you start saying, well, you're gonna have centrifuges with, you know, with
sealed rotors. Yeah,
well, in the, that are closed systems, well, most small
Yeah.
hospitals, those are on the bigger systems. We don't have the, you know, and then, so we're gonna be centrifuging those samples. How significantly is that? Otherwise, like you said, open system.
Sure.
What was that? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to say is not just the small labs, our core lab has open centrifugation too in the chemistry area. So
Right.
it's a problem all around. And, you know, I wish that wasn't so, but, you know, that's what we're dealing with too. So we understand what the problems are. We need to create instruments that are safe.
So Pete, I'm just curious, when you said that, you know, you have the open system also and you're dealing with the, is there any specific measures you have taken or instructed the employees to take in those situations?
Well, we've certainly have talked about it. We've got things in place. Me over the years has been, this is not just a microbiology issue. This is an issue for all the laboratories that we're dealing with.
Thank you. Yes, all of those are true. I think that if you can't have an enclosed system for centrifugation, you would have protocol in order to clean it up. You would have the proper protocol to use the advanced PPE to do the cleaning is definitely one thing a laboratory could think of. But again,
that's another issue, Karen, that we're dealing with here is that, you know, if we have to clean an instrument like a core analyzer, decon an instrument, it would shut the instrument down for a couple hours, and we can't afford to even do that.
right.
So there's a lot of things going on, but Solomon, you are correct. We do follow back. If we think there's some risk to something that could have happened with a positive monkeypox specimen, for instance, we will follow back to see if there were any exposure issues.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Any other questions or open mic topics that would any of the laboratorians would like to bring up? Okay, I just want to put in a good word for packaging and shipping. We do have classes coming up here September 7th and 14th. Both the days are required, and it is a type of training I would recommend for anybody new. If you, it's a great review too, but it's definitely for anybody packaging for the first time, I would recommend this training. If you have any problems registering, just email me. That would be, I can help you through that registration part because it does go to the CDC. This is a CDC class that they do the registration, they handle the testing. It's a good class. I think that we have a good product out there now because it was written by state training coordinators across the states. So last chance for open mic. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Our next meeting, of course, will be Monday, September 19th. Take care until then. Be safe. Bye-bye now.
Thanks, Karen.
Not surprising.
walked into